when overthinking becomes the norm, we use this as a way to prepare for the next thing, don't we? But we end up losing our sight and become heedless from Allah SWT guidance. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm going to give you 2 scenarios which will help you to understand the true meaning of taqwa and to help many of us who are constantly overthinking, which you have to watch until the end to properly understand, okay? So we got both person A and person B. They both want to become doctors, right? You know, typical Asians. And they want to go medical school, obviously, to become a doctor. But before the final exam takes place, person A is feeling anxious, is feeling worried, feeling like they're gonna mess up the exam somehow. They've already imagined their family calling them a failure again and again, and they end up procrastinating for the final exam until last minute. And they see medical school as the only way to become successful and to be seen as someone worthy. But they don't even believe that they're even capable of getting those good grades that their family and other people expect of them. So they keep self-sabotaging. They know they should be studying, but they end up scrolling. But, you know, some days they get motivated. They, you know, study so hard and intensely that they end up burning themselves out. But, we have a person B, you know, person B. And this is who you should be like. Person B. You know, person B, they're feeling enlightened, calm, composed, you know, maybe a little nervous, but they know that Allah SWT is with them, so it's okay. They've been revising consistently and they haven't left anything till last minute. They are assured with themselves that everything they've done is everything they could have done, and now they've completely surrendered to Allah SWT. They trust that even if they don't make it to medical school, Allah SWT has written a greater plan for them, and they know that He will surely provide a way out for them to be successful from where they didn't expect at all. They don't define their worth by family and societal expectations. They don't seek any external validation for their worth, despite the pressure, because they know that Allah SWT has already honored them in the Quran. The one who has created the heavens and earth and everything in between told them that they were honored in the Quran. They know that Allah SWT is sufficient for them because that is who He is. He has to provide a way out for the one who relies on Him. This is the promise of Allah SWT in the Quran itself. As Allah SWT has not written just one path of success, He has written multiple for everyone. So as you can see, person A and person B both experience different thoughts, different perceptions, different beliefs, different priorities about Allah SWT. So from the scenarios I've given, we know that person A has a lack mindset. They only constantly think about what they are lacking in, and they feel like nothing will ever be enough because they're not connected with the divine Himself, Allah SWT. They're not connected at all. They're just constantly, you know, overthinking because they're just following whatever shaitan is telling them, living in grief and despair because they don't have that tawakkul, which I will be talking about in the next episode of this series. If you didn't know, this is a series. And because person A isn't connected with the divine, this leads person A to constantly overthink and become doubtful of Allah SWT. This is the exact trap that shaitan loves to put the believers in. However, person B has an abundant mindset. They truly believe that Allah SWT is their provider. He is the one who has already provided them with everything they need. They choose to rest in ease, knowing that Allah SWT has given them everything that they need. They're not in any lack, and they are grateful for the fact that they even got the opportunity to have an education. Like, having an education is not a blessing that everyone has. And I'll be talking more about gratitude in depth for the upcoming episodes. So you better subscribe to see more episodes in this series, because we need to stop overthinking, you know. We need to have that mindset, that consciousness of Allah SWT. We need to trust Allah SWT. We need to, you know, have gratitude for Allah SWT. And lastly, be patient which is how the series will go. Which is exactly what the upcoming episodes of this series will be about. So stay tuned for that, okay? And you know, person B, they are certain that Allah SWT is abundant with the opportunities He has to give to everyone. If only they chose to see it. If only they were mindful. If only they knew. I know a lot of us can relate to being person A in this scenario, but I know and I truly believe that if we turn to Allah SWT now and truly believe in the unseen, like we were commanded to do in the Quran as believers, then we will all be able to receive our rizq, the rizq that Allah SWT has written down for us. We'll be able to get it much faster. Like, trust me, we'll be able to get it much faster with the inner state, with the consciousness of Allah SWT and mindset of person B, inshaAllah. So if you enjoyed the first episode of this series, then I highly recommend that you subscribe and like the video so that it can reach even more Muslims who are struggling, and for you to be tuned in for the next episodes, you know, because we need to truly be able to stay present and connect with the divine, Allah SWT. Do leave a comment down on how you like this episode. Assalamu alaikum. I'll see you in the next one.